Hi everyone, welcome to Del's Kitchen. Today is my ultimate favorite pudding, bread and butter pudding, and it has very fond childhood memories of it, and most Parsis in India and everywhere, it's probably the ultimate favorite pudding. As you can see on my table, I have so many spreads of bread, and this is exactly what I'm trying to kind of tell you, that if you have like a big family like I have, we always land up with loads and loads of bread, and this is what you can do with things that are not being eaten up, because it does require bread that is a bit stale-ish to kind of crisp up and harden and make it really luscious with the custard. I'm going to have a few things thrown in. Ultimately, they're my own little versions of twists. So I hope you enjoy this recipe. I'm using brioche rolls, and one is with chocolate chips and one is a plain variety. And I'm also using like just fresh baguette type of bread, which is kind of hard, which is perfect. So I'm just gonna start by cutting the rolls. And it doesn't need to be of any shape or size because it will kind of dissolve with the custard. So before I start buttering the bread, what I'm going to do is get the milk on the hob. I need to just heat up 2 cups of milk, and the key word here is heat up. This is my 2nd cup of milk. Make sure that as it warms up and heats up, it doesn't boil. It should not boil. When the fat comes up, you just switch it off and leave it. Use 2 eggs for this recipe. Just break them in a deep bowl. Once the milk boils, you're going to be putting the milk inside this and then back on the hob till it cooks into custard. Going to be using my favorite, remember this? Vanilla sugar from the rubber vlog. No, it's not that same one, just different sachets, but yeah, I've got plenty of these. Take your whisk. So have a cup of brown sugar. It really doesn't matter if you don't have brown sugar, you can use regular sugar. I just happen to have it. It's good for your baking and desserts and stuff like that. Have your baking dish ready for your bread and butter pudding. I'm just gonna keep like few slabs of butter to the sides. Got ground cinnamon. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit. So this is my own twist. So now we can see there's a film of cream building up on the top, and it's going to bubble and rise very quickly. I'm at the ready to shut the thing off, maybe half a minute more, because I want the milk really hot. You can now switch it off and just leave it as it is. So what I'm doing is I'm using the chocolate chip brioche right at the bottom, so the chocolatey bit melts, and you can layer it whichever way you want. Doesn't have to be any grand design as such. One layer of brioche rolls, the ones with the chocolate chips and a few crusty ones. Before I go to the next level, I'm just going to sprinkle a few nuts. My second twist on this recipe is marmalade. I've seen many people use it and I've thought, should we really? But it really lends a beautiful orangey flavor to your bread and butter pudding. It doesn't have to be loads of it. If you don't like marmalade, you don't really need to put it. You can probably even put apricot jam. Now goes your other layer, and I'm going to just do like a gradual crisscross design, just because I feel like it really. Time to make our custard now. I have whisked 2 eggs with 1 cup of brown sugar and vanilla sugar in this big bowl, and all I'm going to do is gently tip this milk into the eggs and keep stirring at the same time. So this is the important step you need to do. You need to first put the milk into your eggs, and then you keep this whole mix back on the hob and make it into custard. And that's how you get your homemade custard. You can use shop-bought custard, it doesn't really matter, but I like to do things from scratch because it just lends a beautiful flavor just doing that. So let's get the hob going again. Back it goes. This is the time you can taste for desired sweetness. If you like your custard really sweet, go for it. You can also substitute sugar for condensed milk. Just make sure that this mixture doesn't boil. It really needs to just thicken and not boil. Switched on the oven to 200 degrees. I'm also whisking away. We've got eggs in this mixture and it's important that it doesn't become scrambled eggs. It will thicken and I'll show you a test that you can do to make sure it is custard consistency. Been stirring this for the last 8 minutes. It's thickening. I want my custard to be a little bit more luxurious, so I'm gonna tip half of this tub of double cream. If you don't want any cream, don't put it, that's fine. I just like it rich. This will also help it thicken more. I'll be nearly there. It's roughly taken us around 12 minutes to reach this stage, and I can feel the custard thickening. And now if I have to put my spoon, if you see the back of the spoon is being coated by the custard, that means you have custard. We are ready to pour this mix into your bread and butter in the casserole over. Let's do this. Gently ease it in, trying to cover all of the bread. So remember, we have put cinnamon at the base. I'm also going to put cinnamon on the top. Oops, that was a bit too much, but it's fine. Scatter some raisins, and you can put as much or as little, and these will caramelize with your bread and butter pudding. And put it in the oven now for a good 45 minutes on 200 degrees because I want the bread crust to crisp up on the top. We've had this in the oven for a good 45 minutes, and ideally it would be nice for you to just cool it in the oven as well, as long as you can, because it should really set. Here we have it. It's the bread and butter pudding with lots of twists. We got cinnamon, we got orange marmalade, we got nuts, we got raisins of course, and we've got lovely Madagascar vanilla custard in it. So I'm just gonna have a taste test as always. My favorite bit. It just melts in your mouth like liquid gold. Please try it, guys. It'll taste even better once you set it, put it in the fridge after you bake it. You can make it one day prior to your party. It's very, very easy to do this, so enjoy it. Bye!